Welcome, everyone. This is Robert Burns, and delighted you're here. We're going to get into our trading session, our live trading session. It's Tuesday, December 12th. And one of the things that we always start off with is to take a look at the news, and doesn't always protect you from being torpedoed, but often you can help avoid known waves and sometimes rogue waves that take place. It is Tuesday the 12th. We had some pretty big news events about a half an hour ago. CPI, that's consumer price index here in the US. That's often can be a big one. We have one coming up tonight, actually in quite a few hours from now, 11 p.m. in the that will affect the Great British Pound. And nothing else red folder today. We do have a 30-year bond auction, an orange folder coming up in 4 hours, excuse me. Tomorrow has the potential for being pretty rocky. 11 a.m. my time, whatever time that is for you, and I'll show you how you can figure that out very easily on this in just a second. But federal funds rate, FOMC, which is the Fed, and a statement, hoping that they ease up on the rate hikes. That would be good for real estate values. And from a self-serving standpoint, that would enable me to move to Europe, which I want to do, and so I can trade at civilized hours. And then on Thursday, we have unemployment claims, 5:30, a whole lot of red on Thursday. Let's see here. Affecting the euro in the morning, my time on Thursday. Core retail sales, unemployment claims also in the morning, my time. And then ending the week with yet more red. Lot of landmines out there this week, guys. So just be careful. This tool that I'm using is one that you can get yourself, and we highly recommend this because you don't want to be blindsided by things that are knowns. In other words, these are known things that can happen. Sometimes unknown things happen, like what happened with Israel and Hamas and so on. That happened over a weekend, so it wouldn't show up here. And on occasion those happen, but these are the things that you know about, and to help you be aware of them, there's a tool called Forex Factory, and Forex Factory is a free tool. I would encourage you to set up an account with this. I've just sent it to you on chat here on Zoom. When you set up an account, one of the things you do is you choose your time zone, and it will automatically then compute all of these in your time zone, which is handy. The other thing that I just want to touch on really quickly, there's a filter. You see, I've got red and orange here right now. I can use the filter to define that I only want red, let's say. So I can define what currencies I want to follow, because some of these have much more weight than others. The US dollar one with the US economy tends to be it is the 800-pound gorilla most of the time. And so you want to be aware of that one in particular. But there are others here that may be of interest to you. The euro obviously can be very impactful in the European zone. So can the Great British Pound. In Asia, Japanese yen, et cetera, et cetera. You can choose what you want to see and what, maybe more importantly, you don't want to see. So I just chose all red folders, and that's all we have now. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to have a live trading session with my colleague, Robert Russell, in the pilot seat, generating signals. If there are signals, we'll take them. There may not be. It's a pretty low volume time of the year. A lot of traders take December, the whole month off. So may we have a signal today? Perhaps. May we not? Perhaps. But in any event, if you are going to be trading is risky. Your results will vary and are not guaranteed. This information is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. It's trade ideas. If you choose to take them, that is your responsibility solely. Trading Forex, indices, metals, and other instruments is at the full discretion of the users, and users are fully and solely responsible for their trading results. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment and should therefore evaluate your own risk tolerance before trading and only trade with money you can afford to lose. Any links in my post may contain affiliate referral links and may generate a reward for the referrer. Here's the punchline right at the bottom. Never risk funds you cannot afford to lose. And always look to withdraw your initial risk capital as soon as it is earned. So anything after that you receive is subsequently is pure profit. So, this is something to heed. When you start out, if you're new here, trade a demo account. Trade with monopoly money until you can have the proficiency and confidence that what you're doing you can do on a live account. And there are ways to have interim steps in that process. By the way, there's micro accounts where some companies have, you put in $100 and it turns into 10,000 pennies, and it looks like a $10,000 account. It trades like a $10,000 account, but it's $100. So if you really screw up, it's $100. It's not the end of the world, but it's a nice interim step between trading real dollars, all the way real dollars, and demo. It's a kind of an interim step that's cool. The other thing I want to touch on here, we are doing these live trading sessions right now for free. So bring guests, bring people here that you would like to introduce to this. We do a couple of things here. One, we have trading signals, and Robert will be doing his analysis on TradingView, which is a very popular charting package. TradingView is really kind of the preeminent charting package these days. There are others, but it's on a favorite list of many traders. It's lots of bells and whistles. If you happen to trade crypto, you'll see TradingView, a white label version, all over the place on major crypto exchanges, as an example. It really is gaining traction in the marketplace. He will then place his trade, knowing Robert Russell, probably on MT4 or MT5 on his phone. So you won't see him place the trade. He'll make a call. He'll say, okay, I'm entering a sell here. And when he does that, if you choose to engage, you should be on your trading platform. That may be on a phone. It may be on a computer. Most of the time, it'll be on MT4 or MT5. There may be, in time, there may be some folks here that are able to trade directly on TradingView if you have an account set up there. That is possible. But in any event, Robert will be doing his trade calls directly on, via audio. And then we send out a screenshot to our trade signal group. And oftentimes those will come out in advance. In other words, Robert sent one out today that I wish I would have taken. If I were awake, I would have taken that one because it was a good call, but I wasn't awake. It was a little too early for me. So here's the agenda that we're going to get into, that I'm going to get into, and we're going to get into. Check the news. We've already done that one. You have the tool for that. Robert's going to do the TDA, the top-down analysis. He's going to draw out zones and market structure lines for you and trend lines. He's brilliant at this. And the thing that's most remarkable here, Robert has traded for just a little over a year, and his competence level, his trading technique is very basic, which is, I think, precisely why it's powerful, because it's basic and it's simple. And somebody that comes in can grasp this fairly quickly, and it's breakout trading. He's going to figure out where his entries are, if he's going to go long or he's going to go short, meaning he's going to put in a buy or a sell. And then in the event it goes our way, he'll make the call. And he does so with lots of confirmation, which you'll see, which makes the trades highly probable. We've got a pretty good track record thus far. We are going to have losing days from time to time. I don't hope that today is a losing day, but you never know. We could have one if we place a trade, but just to create realistic expectation level. Later, I'm going to show you how to compute position size using a calculator, which is a very useful tool to make sure that you're not over trading and in some cases not under trading. Maybe you've got a real slam dunk entry and you have tight risk all the time. You can really make some money when you do it that way. And we'll check the position size then in the MT4 and MT5 platform to make sure that it is, matches whatever you figured out on your trading computer. Also, with losses in mind, this is a book we're fond of. Encourage you to get this book. Tom Hugard is a brilliant trader. and won competitions, worked for multiple Wall Street firms. He's very capable. If you go to Amazon, you can get this book on Kindle, the paperback, and the Audible, so you can listen to it. I have all three. Actually, I like it so much. In fact, I'm buying it for some of my pals that it's something that I just really, most that read it really, really like it. In fact, I haven't had anybody say they didn't like it. He's really got a lot of wisdom to impart. Um, okay, we'll get into that one a little bit later. And with that, what I want to do is turn it over to none other than Robert Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Burns, and great information as always, folks. Glad the news is behind us today, because I think for the last 2 weeks we had to come out of the trades early, and it was a pity because of the news. But I will always protect anything, folks. If I think there's news coming up, I just pull out of the trades. I might cut out of our trades early, have a small loss. I would rather take 3 or small losses than let one trade run and run and run and a loss. Okay, folks, I did put a little trade entry into the group earlier. I did call it a stop loss. I said close the trade. It was a small loss. I took a 0.3% loss. I'm going to explain now why I did this, and I'm going to explain to you then what has happened afterwards. Okay, the news came out. Okay, I think Victor was saying good call. I came out early of the trade. So it was a good call, but I'm going to explain what has happened since. Okay, folks, so most importantly here, we're on the GE30, GER30, that is the DAX. Depends on your broker. It could be DE40, it could be GE30, GER40. It just depends on your broker, folks. I'm on TradingView here, as you can see, and I'm on the GER30, and I'm on the 8 cap price feed. Okay, so here it is, the DAX index, and I'm on the 8 cap. And if you're wondering what time frame I'm on, up here, look, I'm on a 5-minute time frame. Okay, I'm going to bring it up to the 15-minute time frame. Folks, I says in the group, I was looking at a head and shoulders. The DAX is in like a price range at the minute. It's going up, it's going down. It's not a good area to trade at the minute. It's very, very risky. So earlier, literally an hour ago, I called the trade here as an entry, this blue line, as a sell. Okay. Our stop loss was here, the red line. This blue line, folks, this is my second, like a loss. I call this my provisional stop loss. If it breaks it, I come out earlier. There's no point in letting go on to your stop loss and takes you out. As you can see, I called it here, which we had a small loss. It wasn't that big, folks. As you can see then, it continued to go up. It would have stopped us out here, and I just went a little bit above it. Then, folks, the news came. Okay. It hit my trend line, as you can see. This is my trend line here going up. This is my trend line going down. So it broke through the trend line, and then it retraced back down, folks. Okay. So it could have been another entry here, again, for a sale, because it did come down. It kept coming down. What I'm looking at the DAX, folks, this is just, it might come, it mightn't. Okay, it's the markets. They will decide which way they're going to do. I seen over here a shoulder. Okay, we had formed over here, then we come up, we created our head, and then we came back down. What I was hoping is we came up to this blue line, maybe a little bit above it, and then went down, and we came back up, and we went down. This is still possibility on for head and shoulders. What I think it's going to happen is, let me get this here. This is what I think, folks. This is what I'm seeing. Okay, so we'll start up here. Let me see. So we came down, we came up. I'm gonna get another one here. Okay, we come down. Possibility we could touch here. What's going to happen next? Possibility we could come back up to here, and then the next one could come back down and do this. Okay, I'm going to lock that up. Okay, so this is what I'm picturing in my head. Okay, so we went up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's what I see the DAX doing in my head. If it plays out like this, where will our perfect entry be? It will be down here, okay. So we've got to wait for this to come down. I don't want it to break this line. I don't, because it's not doing what I see in my head. We could see this now. We have a 5-minute candle here. Let me go. Okay, so as you can see, folks, down, up. Let's see now, maybe a continuation coming down, finding support, coming back up, and then continuing to go down. I'm going to move this over. Also, it will follow my trend line here coming down, okay? As it comes down, folks, it's just finding support over here to the left. When we're looking at our charts, it's so important, always look left, okay? When we're out driving, we always say look right, always look right and left. When you're on a Forex chart, always look left, okay? Why are you looking left? Because it's where all the data is, okay? It's where all the history. Where's the support? Where's the resistance? So I'm going to get rid of these 3 lines because I don't want to complicate it. It's bad enough. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. And get rid of this one, okay? Let's just see how this plays out. I will take a screenshot of this and we will put it into the group chat. And the entry, let's say I'll put in my entry point. Okay, so there we go. And get rid of that line. So folks, what I'm expecting, as I say, is this trend line's come up. I don't want it to go above this trend line here again, okay? I need it to continue to come down, come back up, possibility to touch this trend line here, possibility, and then come back down again and break this entry level here. So if I'm going to the 30 minutes, this is what we're looking at. But folks, as again, it's the markets, you know, there's low volume. The volume isn't there. Even last week we had good volume. There was good movement. It's a struggle this week, guys. It's only Tuesday and it's a struggle to get the charts to go your way. Keep your lot sizes smaller and keep your stop losses even tighter, okay? Don't let them run. On a trade, folks, don't risk any more now this week than 0.3 to 0.5 on a trade, okay? So if you had 3 or 4 losses, 1% you're going to lose, okay? You can always regain it back. Keep your profits now this time of the year because we've got January to start all over again when the markets is fresh. But that's what I'm looking at there on the DAX. Okay, let's zoom in. And you'll probably think it really is crazy how it's going to follow these lines. You can see it's going down at the minute, okay? It's tracking. And if it follows here, it comes back up, it goes down. Excellent, okay. We'll get an entry. First of all, I want to look at the dollar and then I'll look at the euro versus the dollar and the USD versus the JPY. Okay, let's look at the dollar. So we had our news here, folks. As you can see, the big spike up, a big spike down, and it came back up. What am I expecting the dollar to do? I want the dollar to come back down again. Okay, this is what I call it wasn't in the plan. The news spiked it up, and let's see if the dollar continues to weaken. If I go to the hour and bring this in. Want to go on further. I do expect folks the dollar to push back down. Okay, I do. Normally what happens when the red folder news just comes out, don't trade. Let it settle. Let's just say the dollar was going down. The news came in and it spiked it up. Give it an hour, 2 hours, and you will see if it's still in the downtrend, the dollar will come back down to where it was previous. Okay, so the dollar again, we got the big push up. But as you can see now, the bears are coming back. Okay, we're going to push it back down to where it was before the news. So let's look at the euro versus the dollar. Before I go in, we were in an uptrend for this last couple of days, but I'm pretty sure that the markets tried to push this down. Again, folks, as you can see, this was the trend line from last week. We did break it, and as you can see, we got a great push up. Again, folks, this was the news, and what did the news do? Drive it right back down. But now what's happening? We're starting to go back up, okay? We got the news, we got our push down. Now we're expecting this to continue to go up. But again, we're going to be patient. We're going to wait. We could have a possible entry at this first blue line here. Okay, so if I go down to 5 minutes and bring it in a little bit better. Okay, so this is where the first entry possibility will be here, okay? Because we did get a big push up here, as you can see. So if we did come back up, folks, to this area and we break through, I'm expecting it to push on up here, okay, to where this previous wick was. Again, we just got to wait. The USD JPY, it has been on a bearish move, folks, for the last 2 weeks. I'm still expecting the bears to keep pushing this down, okay? And again, let me see. Let's draw the line. Again, folks, we were on a nice down pressure, as you can see, going down. The news pushed it down, but then it pushed it back up. Again, we're on, I don't like when it's sitting in this area. I'll wait, but I still think on the higher time frames, we will come back down here, folks. We will come back down. This was just a trend line that I drew this morning. This is on the lower time frame. But if we go to the 4 hours, as you can see, we pretty much all can agree we're on the bears is in control down. It retraced up, it went down, retraced up, it went down, retraced up, down, retraced up. It came down, big push down, retrace up, and now it's like, it's dependent on the news, folks. The news has just gone over, but we have heavy news through the coming days. Where am I expecting this to go? This isn't telling you this is going to happen. This is just me thinking in my head, folks. Everybody's going to be different. I do expect it to get back down here again. You know, because I feel there's liquidity down below here. This is where I'm thinking, and maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe even the new year, where is this pair going? If I go to the daily, somebody asked me, where do you think this is going to drop to? I always look left, okay? If I was a buyer, folks, let's say I was still in my positions. Let's just say here was the buyer for my X's. Let's just move this one here. We're going to unlock it. Okay, let's just say this is where the buyers are all sitting with their big... Whoops, I didn't mean to get rid of that. There we go. I'll lock this up. Okay, so this is what I think, okay? We have loads of liquidity here, folks, okay? Look, here, support, 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 okay? If I was thinking like an institutional trader, where have we got to go with this here? Well, in my eyes, we've got to bring it right down below here into this area and then kick up before pushing down. If we go over here to our previous high, as you can see, previous high over here, we broke it over here, folks, okay? So we're in a small retrace. This isn't a big retrace. If you look at the last previous high and look at the drop, it came right down here. So now push 1, push 2, push 3, okay? So we'll go down, maybe go down a little bit further, come back up. It just won't continuously drop, folks. It just can't continuously drop. It must come down, retrace up, continues to go down, and a retrace up. So I'm expecting it to come down to this area, possibility in the new year. It could happen this week with the news. I'm going to get rid of that line, and I'm just going to leave this line here, and we'll keep a close eye on it. So this is with me looking on the pairs. I'm going to go back to the lower time frames. I always look at the bigger time frames just to see what's happening from Robert Burns calls outer space. I lock in just to be see. And this sorted. I'm just not convinced, folks. You know, this is a breakout. I don't know. It's just not. I think we're still going to come back down again. I do. So let's see what it did. So let's say it pushed down. It came back up, folks. If we look left, just say, right, why did it break this area here? Why did it break it? There's lots of liquidity here, okay? This is where our sellers will be. This is where they'll have their stop losses. Because we look here, we look here, and we look here, okay? For me, if I was doing my stop loss, I wouldn't put it here anymore, folks, because you got to think like the big traders. Where would you put your stop loss? You're going to have to go higher than this and higher than that. Your stop loss is going to have to be here to get protected. So if you had your stop loss up there, you're still in the game. This is the high that I will go with for my stop loss, not here, not that line. Let's just draw the line and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, as you say, we were down here and we're still pushing down. And the big guys goes, okay, let's do a false push up. Okay, let's push it up. Let's take out all the liquidity over to the left. We'll bring it down. And what are they going to do as they bring it down again? The sellers are going to come back in. They'll push it down. And again, what are they going to do? They're going to bring it back up again. They're going to take out the sellers again and then push down. This is the way I'm thinking again, but will I enter? No. Just let the markets decide what they're going to do. We're going to find our entry and then we'll take our trade. But there's no trade available here, folks. I can't see anything. There's no confirmations. I always look also. I do use two indicators, folks. The pivots traditional and the fair value gap. If I click on the pivots traditional, as you can see, I want to take this off again. I just want to double check. So I did say, folks, this is where I put my stop loss. At this high here, okay? Where would I enter a trade? Let's say if we're going to go for a buy, let's just say where we're thinking about a buy. Okay, we broke through our trend line. We've broken through a little bit of resistance here. And we do have a little bit of pressure. Folks, when we normally break a trend line, this nearly always happens. You break the trend line, you're going to come up. Don't enter. Wait for the candles to come back down and test your trend line. Then when you get the push up, that's when you get your entry. We could possibly get a push up. I don't think it's going to break that trend line here, my above one. I can't see it breaking this. It could have came down, came back up, and then pushed back down. So I'm thinking this is pushing up. Let's see what the dollar is doing. Because whatever the USD is doing, JPY, the dollar is going to be doing the exact same most of the time, folks. And as you can see, the dollar is pushing up. This is a level here. The dollar will probably struggle to get by. I just want to get another line on here.
You may want to keep an eye on the euro. We're getting some decent movement in the euro.
Okay. With a bigger time frame. What are these lines? There's lines popping up. Okay, rejected. Guys, I'm not going to be doing an entry. I'm going to put the position in. I'm nowhere close to my entry. Okay, we've got to get down to this level.
And what is that number there?
So that is 1.07414.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me go to the hour. This, to me, folks, it's, we could come down and break that line, but we have the trend line right below it, and then we have another trend line here. I just want to look at the bigger picture. We could get an entry here, but straight away we could face up pressure from down here. But we will keep a close eye on this. We could get maybe a little push down here. Possibility of an entry here. Go to the lower time frame. Just trying to figure out, we could get a better entry in this. Bear with me, folks. I'm just double checking everything. Okay, this could be the entry here because I'm a little bit low here. We might get down to that far. Bear with me. Just putting on these lines, folks, and then I can tell you what I'm thinking. Folks, this take profit is just, if we break through, we'll stay on the trade, okay? Okay, so this will be a possible entry. If we break, get rid of that. If we get our entry, folks, and we break down through here, let's say we touch our profits and we push down, we will stay on the trade because we could get down to this level here. I'm going to put a little line here. Okay, so that is our possible take profits. We will watch closely. If we break, we stay in, and this is where we will get out. I need to see what I just want to check what's happening with the DAX. Okay, folks, it's following the line, okay? This could be a trade maybe for later on. Again, we're getting good push up in the dollar. If the dollar stays strong, okay, let me see. Folks, I'm just doing my lines here. I will come back to the charts. Okay, folks, so we're looking at a possible sale here on the euro. Okay, so we've got to get our entry down here to our blue line. Folks, we might get an entry, we might not. I don't want to enter just for jumping on a trade. I'd rather have a trade that I can see everything that I want and that we could get a possibly one-on trade. Okay. See my wicks. You can see this is the entry, folks, but as you can see right above it is the pivots. Okay, we had a big fair value gap here. As you can see, we came down, we got into it, we're pushing up. If we get up above this line, if you look left, we have a fair value gap over here, folks. So there is a chance this could push up. It mightn't exactly get to this line. It might actually get to here and retrace. So we're going to watch this carefully if we can push up. So the New York has opened as well, folks. So it has gone through about 10 minutes ago. Just didn't give us a lot of movement. I can see we're going to the DAX. Let me see what's happening here. Yep, still going down. Again, folks, this entry is not looking like it now because it's pushing back up. We have fair value gaps here. Whether it goes back into this, maybe grabs liquidity in this area or this area, pushes back down. For that. Folks, what could happen here with the dollar, like we went up, we went down, we went up. We could get a little retrace down to here, and then the dollar will push up. So that's what could happen. So this is what possibility, folks, I'm just thinking what might happen to the dollar. Okay, so we've gone up, down, up. We probably will get a retrace, and then the dollar will push up. So here we're going back up. Folks, I am entering a buy on the USD JPY. I have entered a buy on the USD JPY. Folks, this is the only trade I think I will call. It's just the markets just aren't moving the way I want it. Okay, so it's all the better, folks, if the dollar pushes. You know, if a dollar can just push away up. I'm just going to switch between this and the dollar, okay? Just going to take these out of the way, folks. Just want to watch what's happening here. Folks, I might move my stop loss a little bit just to give this a little bit of room to breathe. I have it very, very tight. I might give this one a little bit of room to breathe, okay? I'm trying to figure out here. I don't want to go too low. So I'm happy there. Okay, that's where the stop loss is. But I will be watching this area here carefully. This line is what it says. You know, this is a line. If we break through it, I jump out. You know what I mean? The stop loss is below it, but this is the line that I will watch closely. Like most traders, folks will pull their stop loss down, but you're just going into a more losing trade. You know what I mean? It's like have a few stop losses at nice and short. Okay, we can get the dollar get back up. Let's see what's happening on the minute. I'm just looking through different. Folks, this is a level I'm hoping that the dollar finds a little bit of bounce and kicks up. If it breaks this level, I'll close my trade. Okay, this is the level I'm looking at the dollar. Um, Folks, I'm just going to close that trade early. I don't want it to go any further. It's a small loss, but it's just not feeling it. I just don't, it's just not looking good. The volume's not there. So I'm just going to close it early here. I took a 0.4 loss. I'm happy to take a small loss here, because it's just, I don't feel it from the charts. The volume isn't in it. The trade, folks, I've closed my trade. It's totally up to you if you want to stay on the trade or take the small loss. I took my small loss, okay? But it's your decision whether you stay on the trade or whether you close it, okay? I will look for another entry, folks, but I don't want to give an entry unless it's just, I'm not giving out an entry and, we get a small loss. I don't want it. I'm just keeping an eye on the DAX. Let me see, go over here, 5 minutes. As you can see, it's broken up. Just want to take these lines out because I'm looking at the head and shoulders. This was the level, folks, I had marked. The dollar has pushed off it. Will it go up? I don't know. Just not getting the feeling from the market that I normally would get. Because I have my pivots. As you can see, it touched that pivot and it got rejected. Now if I take out my line here, there's resistance right above it. I thought when we broke this line, we might have broke through it, and the possibility of getting up to this line. It's tricky, folks. Trading is going to be very, very tricky this week, and I will take a small loss. It's a good loser. Okay, that's the way I look at it. It's a good loser to me. I switch between this and the dollar. See what the euro is doing while I'm sitting I'm just going through the charts. It's just not getting near my entries. It's no, I would rather not trade, folks. I won't call trades. Let me go to the 15 minutes. And I'm going to get rid of these lines. Folks, if there's any questions, just can ask as well. No, while this trade here is playing out, I just came out with a loss. If it goes back up, it goes up here. That's great, but I took my loss. I just go with my gut feeling, and I just come out early. You know what I mean? I don't always get it right, folks. I'm only human. If we all could do this every day, it would be life changing. But I take my loss. Okay, I'll take my small loss. The dollar is pushing up. This here is on the minute candle. Okay, I'm just going to change the view. You can see, folks, like we've been in this trade now for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. And it has literally moved from here 145,824 down to 145,600. It hasn't done much movement. And that's why we say the volume that normally pushes the market up and down, it's not in it. The big traders, the big institutional traders, they're not in the market. And it's now the news and the day traders is just left in the market, folks, to push it. Folks, normally if I'm trading on the side, you know what I mean, I'll just go in and I probably would have that as my stop loss, you know, if I wasn't watching the charts, you know, and I'd probably still be on the trade, but and just let the trade play out. Depends on your risk, you know, your risk management. What are you willing to lose on a trade? This week, I don't want to lose no more than 0.3 to 0.5 on a trade. Let's say you had 4 trades at 0.3, you're losing 1%, folks, you know, and that's not a bad day. You know, it's not a bad day's trading 1% of a loss. Because if one trade goes your way, it can be 1.5%. So if you had one winner out of the 4, that can bring you back into profit. Folks, I'll stop sharing and I'll see if there's any questions. I'm just going to let that trade play out. I still think, folks, that I came out here was a good, you know, a good exit. I still think this is going to push down. It's not giving me the energy that's going to go up. I just don't know why. You can see the lines are here. Like this is the pivots, folks, that I follow, and it's respecting the line here. It respected it again. Respected it again. It respected it. It respected it again. You know, if it does push through, let's say if they do push through, then there's a good chance you're coming up to the next pivot up here. And then you've loads of pivots. That's in a 5-minute, folks. If you go to the 30-minute, and there you go. Okay, so as you can see, so if we broke this one, we're looking then to come up and test the red. The red is a stronger pivot. That could be a monthly, it could be a quarterly. But the blue pivots are daily pivots, and the green pivots are weekly. So this is a great, these here act as support and resistance lines, okay? You'll see me drawing my lines here, draw my lines there. When I have these pivots, it saves me time, folks, from marking the charts, okay? Which is vital, because the more time that you can save, it's the better for you. All you need then, if you have your support and your resistance lines, all you need to be doing is your trend lines, okay? Just gonna look at this at the bigger time frame. This here, folks, is this big candle was the news. All morning, as you can see, we were dropping, like we were in a downtrend. I just can't see it going up. It's just, there was a possibility there if maybe a small retrace up to here, to the top of this candle, and then push back down. But it's just not looking, it's not looking like it. You can see we got rejected, we got a little push through, we got pushed back, and now this is another 15-minute candle, which is forming. And yeah, we're still down pressure on these. Okay, folks. It was a small loser, folks, but as what I say, it was a good loser. You know what I mean? I don't like calling a loser, but as unfortunately, you know, it's to me, it's impossible to call every single trade a winner. Okay, if we get a good loser, it's a winner in my eyes.
You mean not 100% wins? I'm out.
Yeah, I think I might too, Robert.
Coincidentally, this is a perfect tie-in to the author of the book, The Best Loser Wins, a world-class trader by anybody's measure. He regularly has losses. And, you know, so it's not a matter of somebody's trading skill. It's a matter of recognizing that's part of the game. Even the very best get losses, have losses regularly. They don't make trade calls 100%. It's impossible to do that, and nor is it desirable. Robert's best move there was cutting that loser short, and not allowing it to run. So I wanted to just show you guys this because this is coincidental timing today. This is an interview of Steve Ward by Tom Hugard, the fellow that is the author of The Best Loser Wins. This is coming up in almost exactly 4 hours. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you here. Hang on. Yes. In almost exactly 4 hours. You'll have to look at this in your time zone. It's 11 a.m. my time zone, which is 4 a.m. 4 hours from now. But this would be a great opportunity to plug into. Steve Ward is a performance consultant and coach to traders who's being interviewed by Trader Tom, aka Tom Hugard, about his experience working with world-class trading talent at hedge funds, banks, commodities trading houses, energy companies, and proprietary trading groups. Then halfway through the web seminar, the roles reverse, and Steve Ward will interview Tom Hugard about his experiences as a private high-stake trader. So this ought to be a very enlightening and interesting double interview, and to get a sense of what these guys are about, and they're rubbing shoulders with some of the very best traders on the planet. So if you want to get a sense of mindset and how traders are, what they think about, this would be a great opportunity to plug into that. And I have posted the link for this in chat, so you can click on that and then be able to get over there to, if you're inclined to tune into that. I also just recently got some of Steve Ward's books. It comes with very good recommendation. He's got a series of books: High Performance Trading, Trader Mind, and Bulletproof Trader. And notice the common theme here is not necessarily technical analysis. It's the mindset. It's trading psychology, which is such a crucial part of this whole game we're in. In other words, how you think about it, how you approach it. Hugard talks about that constantly in his book. In other words, the very import of mindset is everywhere. It's really, really critical to have the right mindset when trading, getting in the zone, So, Robert, did you have anything else right now that you want to hop on the charts about, or are we okay for
No,
me to take?
no, there's nothing there that's giving me any sign at all. It's no, there's nothing there, Robert. And if there is, I'll let you know.
Okay, fair enough. Let me get organized here. I want to start with doing something where I'm not doing it in a live account. Let me get to a demo account. And we'll go through some of the items, just review items on using the trade calculator and some other tools that I think you'll find helpful. So earlier on in chat, I sent out a checklist. One of the items on the checklist is a position size calculator. And why would you want a position size calculator? What do you think? Any guesses? Might you be under trading? Might you be over trading? That's really a critical idea. Let me get this sent out again here right now.
The main idea would be to not get over leveraged.
That's right. Yep. And on occasion, you may have the good fortune of having a really slam dunk entry, in which case you can have a tight stop and really ratchet up your position size. And if it does go against you, you still just maintain whatever your risk that you were willing to risk. Robert mentioned an important number earlier. He's really being tight with the stops. He's doing, quarter point, half point stops as his risk, which, I know often he'll risk more than that, but apparently he doesn't like what he's seeing as much as he normally does. So he is choosing not to do that today. So here we go. Let me get back over to here. These are some of the variables that you encounter when you're going to trade in the market, okay? The first one is, what instrument are you trading? If you're trading the DAX, does that vary as far as position size from the USD JPY or the Euro USD, the three that we're trading here? What do you think? Is there a variance between those different instruments as far as the appropriate position size? Yes, there is. Which broker are you trading on? In other words, the brokers vary a great deal. To give you an example of this, one that is near and dear to me is the one for US 30, which is an instrument I'm fond of and I trade a fair amount. Haven't lately, but I like it and I will be back there trading that. Let me give you an example. If you traded on Envy, to get $1 per index point, you would have a position size of 0.01. If you traded on 8cap, you would have a position size of 0.1. If you traded on Robo4X or FTMO or some of those, you would have a position size of 1. So if somebody told you trade a 0.01, uh-oh, what broker are you on? It matters. Same instrument, but a wide variance in position size. So you have to be careful, with knowing that the broker, it's broker dependent, it's instrument specific. What is your account size? Are you trading a $500 account, a $5,000 account, a $50,000 account, a $500,000 account? Again, it matters. And last and most importantly, where are you placing your stop? These are all things that a position size calculator will help you with. In other words, instead of this stuff being arbitrary or guessing, shooting from the hip, yikes, that's dangerous when trading. I wish I would have had this thing when I started my trading journey. I will never, ever trade without one of these. This is the simple one, and I've sent out the link to this. You can get this for MT4 or MT5. I'm playing around with ones on TradingView. I'm not competent enough to work with them just yet. I want to be trading on 8cap on TradingView because I have the luxury of getting that because of my better half. She's a Romanian citizen, and we can get things that my U.S. citizenship alone does not enable me to get, which is better trading accounts. So, Robert Russell, I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick. I'm going to ambush you. I need a quick answer, long or short, right now.
What one are we on?
We are on the Euro.
Euro, cheaper. She definitely put me on the spot. Sale.
A sell. All right. And that was now I just hit click. Okay. You see this little guy right up here. Here's the position size calculator. I've resized the panel, by the way, just as a quick, I want to show you this because if you use the defaults on this thing, I don't know, they made me crazy. Let me see if I can get there. I can't right here. Hang on. Let me go to indicator list. There it is. And then I go to properties. One of the settings that I choose, I have pretty high res on this monitor I'm on, so I choose the small panel size right here. And the vertical panel indent, meaning from the top down, vertical, is 80. That will get it positioned, in my case, right underneath my one-click trader. I like this positioning. It looks nice, and it's right there, and it's not obtrusive. It's not covering up too much stuff, chewing up too much screen real estate.
Excuse me, Robert, is that also where you set the risk? I saw that line in there, 1%.
Yes.
Is that what you
Yeah,
have it
good
set at?
question. That's exactly where you do it. And you come
Okay.
down here to the
Yeah, I
default
thought I
risk.
saw
In
it
this
right there
case,
at the top. Yep.
it's right here, actually.
So that's the percentage, 1%. You put
That's right.
0.5 there, whatever. Okay, good.
Yep.
Thank you.
And notice when I hit, Robert called a short, and it was down here when he did. It was on this candle. I think we're on the 5-minute here. Let me come back to that. This small setting, what I disliked about medium or the automatic one is it would cover the price action, which is obviously doesn't work. I mean, you need to see what's going on here, and it allows you to see the actual number of the price action over here if you have the small setting. When you do hit, I'm going to do this again. Still like a short, or do you like a long now?
You've caught me on the spot. I'm just following another trade here. I'm just looking at the DAX and
no worries. It's just for purposes of showing you guys this. I'm going to do a long this time around. Okay. Now notice it's automatically, this is a $10,000 account that we're on. So what is 1% of 10,000? It's $100, right? Notice about $100, almost exactly. It's going to find the most recent swing low that matches my risk of 1%. There it is. So if I had a loss on this account that and my setting was 1%, that would be it. It could be if I chose to have 0.5% as my default, it could be that, it could be 1/4%, whatever I want. But this is 1%. And so then you can set your take profit wherever you want up here. But what I submit, when I started out trading, I was too worried about the profit and not nearly enough about the risk. This will enable you to maintain a certain risk profile that if you stick with that and you're willing to take some little losses and not let them run like I did, I made a bunch of money, but I gave it back with consistency, and I'm breaking that habit. Taking small losses is a good thing. As we call them, a good loss. So this will enable you. Notice the most important part, right, is right here. Okay, here we are on the euro. What would be my normal position size? I don't know. But now with this risk at 1%, I could take a 0.89% or 0.89 position size. Okay, if I change the risk, if I move this up here, let's say, just for the sake of an example, look at that. I went from 0.89 to 2.64. If I thought, okay, I know there's a cement wall of support right here, it will allow me to increase my position size. So if I get it right, I'm going to make a bunch of money. If I get it wrong, it's still 1%. Okay. In other words, the lot size changes depending on where you're positioning your stop. I positioned it down here. Notice it drops way down right here, way down. It should. Your position size is dependent on 4 things. Number 1, which broker are you on? Number 2, which instrument are you on? Number 3, how much money do you have in the account? And number 4, where are you placing the stop? These are critical. I wish I would have had this when I was brand new, because I didn't have a clue about what I just shared with you. I didn't. And if that's sounding familiar, this will help you avoid some of the pitfalls of under trading your account, of over trading your account. How about having it precise? And it knows, because it reads whatever broker you're on. It knows what broker you're on. It knows the contract size that broker uses. And if these are unfamiliar terms, those are things you can get up to speed on. But just know that when you're using this position size calculator, it's going to contemplate the broker, the dollar amount, what instrument you're on, and then make a recommendation based on where the stop is and your risk profile, exactly what your position size should be. How cool is that? Soon, you'll see another one that we're very fond of, which is it's a multi-position size. So if you said 1% and I want to have 3 positions, it'll slice up those positions into 3 pieces and give you the ability to set stops and take profits on each one of them. So if, where is this useful? With Manifest, we get regular constant, signals that have they have an entry, they have a take profit 1, a take profit 2, a take profit 3, and of course a stop. So where would you use multi-position entry? You would use it in that case. In other words, if let's say just for, I'm picking this out of the air, but let's say that the position size calculator on a given instrument recommended a 0.12 position. Okay. If you had 1 position, that would be the appropriate amount. 0.12. Now, could you take on 3 positions 0.04. 0.04, 0.04, 0.04. Yeah, you could. Sure. Might you do something a little different where often the highest probability one is the first take profit? Might you go 0.06 on that and then 0.03, 0.03? Maybe. This is all very subjective, very much up to you and what what you're wanting to do. Personally, I like that scenario because that puts fish in the basket no matter what, if I get it right on take profit one. And then what I would do, if I hit take profit one, I'd move my stop up to above break even. If I was in a long, I'd move it up above break even and lock in the profit and then have a no risk trade. I'd close out because it hit take profit one. Number two and number three, I move the stop to a break even or slightly better than a break even, and then let her go. And if I hit take profit two, super duper, I then move my stop up again to above that line and protect the profit for number three. If I've locked in yet more profit, so if number three comes against me, I've still locked in profit on it, but I allow it to continue to run. So that's something that we'll do in a more advanced setting. This little guy, though, is your friend. Make no mistake. You have the opportunity to see and make an informed decision about your position sizing. This is your risk, guys. This is, I submit, more important than the profit is what risk am I taking and how do you mitigate risk? How do you control risk appropriately? How do you get risk so that you know what it is, you have a constant with risk, and then, and you can make a visual here with your stop. You say, okay, Robert makes a very interesting point frequently, which is he's moving his stop away from the normal place immediately below a wick. In other words, the big guys know that a lot of people have a stop right here. Well, guess what they do? They stop hunt, right? They want to grab some liquidity right here, okay? If I move this bad boy down here, I protect myself, but I've got to adjust my position size down, smaller. Is that a prudent move? Maybe. Yes, it gives it a lot more room, but if it goes against me, it's still, and you can't really see this here. There we go. It's still $100. I'm down here now. If it came against me and it came down here and they were stop hunting and they took everybody out right here, I'm still in. And then if it goes back up, happy days, I look like a hero. If I put my stop right here, I might look like a goat because it could come down and hit it. And notice it adjusts every time you're moving this around. You position it here. Yes, I could have a bigger entry, but I also have the risk of stop hunting, taking me out. Okay. This is a very, very important tool to allow you to make an informed decision quickly. Could you do that math that quickly? I can't. No way. To figure out dynamically where I'm positioning a stop and see the position size automatically recompute. How cool is that? Right? Very, very powerful tool. Oh, by the way, it's free. Good price. Any questions on this, guys? I see one. Let's see here. I can't copy that message for some reason. Yeah, Zoom needs to improve that, Dennis. I will post this. I'll post the checklist that has this calculator in. I'll post it in our Telegram group. Hang on 1 minute. I'm going to post it in the group right now. The customer group, the paid group. By the way, guys, we had some chat earlier today in the Signal group, and I want to ask everybody a favor. Please keep that signals only. If you have a discussion about any other topic, the validity of a particular product or a certain thing with Manifest, great, good questions. Don't do it in the Signal group. Keep the Signal group for signals. Just important to have that protocol because as we get more and more people, we want to make sure, we may have to go to a channel for signals for that reason, because then there's no interference, no no potential of having discussion, because you don't want the signals to get lost with a bunch of dialogue that really isn't appropriate in that group.
Yeah, actually, it's muted on both sides on mine where I couldn't chat if I wanted to.
Well, there was some chatting going on in
Interesting.
that group. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a good option, Robert, as you says, if it's for signals only, it's not for chat, you know, then if I can put something up
Yeah.
there.
We've got, you know, if I was at a dilemma as to what to recommend. I don't think some of the stuff where there's candid discussion, I don't want to discourage candid discussion, but I think, you know, there's three groups that we have, okay, for this just while we're on this topic. The main one here, you can put guests in. I don't want to have it, you know, I hate those groups where they're like a nanny and they hit you on the knuckles with a ruler. I'm not that guy. I like candid discussion. That said, if we've got prospects in here, I'd rather keep the candid discussion in among customers and affiliates. Have at it. If you want to have a discussion in here, you like something, you don't like something, be respectful, but that I think is the appropriate place to have it. The signals group, on the other hand, we had a bunch of dialogue in here. This I don't want. I want the signal
in
group.
your signal group. Oh, I see, in yours. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, for
Oh,
signals
I thought
only.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
muted.
and we probably will have to go at some point. We probably will have to go to there's a way of setting up, and we do this fairly frequently, setting up a channel and then having a correlated chat. So if there's a particular signal where there's a question about it, then you can go over in the chat, but it doesn't mess with the signals. The signals are maintain their sanctity of only signals. That's it. I'd
Well, as
ask
an
everybody just to help us out on this for now, because I do like the dialogue if there's a question about a signal, but this is going to get overwhelming in a hurry as we have a bigger
Yeah.
audience,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
are going to have a bigger audience. It's already in the works.
You know, you can mute that as an admin.
Yeah, it's
You're trying not to.
It's a channel though. There's a mechanism for it that's the appropriate one, and right
Okay.
now doing that with a group is challenging. It's
Hmm.
I'd rather allow it right now, but there's a point coming where if we can kind of self-police and say, hey, you know, have that discussion in the other appropriate places. If it's something that would be beneficial to everybody and not perceived as too negative, you know, put it in the main group. I want to be careful though. We have prospects, and I like to keep positive and not have, you know, candid dialogue about things that we may like or not like with the PAM account that's coming, the automation. I'd rather have that in the customer group, customer and affiliates. In other words, if you're going to have some, you know, and keep it respectful again, you know, there was some commentary in there that I'm going to take issue with one of the people in particular that I'm going to take issue with. I'll do that privately. But you know, in general, put in information that may be a little more controversial in here for you know, there's people's prospects in here. So I really want to be careful about not in the main group about not having things that are kind of, you know, I don't like this. I don't like, it's like, not in the main group. Okay. So, all right. Let's see here. What other questions on back to the calculator for a minute? Any questions on this? Because this is really a central thing that we want to cover each day. It's such an important piece of the trading journey, because if you get a handle on top of this, you got a handle on top of your risk. I submit it is numero uno. In other words, I used to think profit was, I don't think that way anymore. I think about what happens when I get it wrong and get that covered with certainty. Then if you get it right, happy days, but you know you're not going to be punished. And the company that I was affiliated with did not emphasize this adequately at all, in my opinion. In other words, people were trading on different brokers and they'd say, I'm going to trade a 0.02. Really? You're actually using the number? Really? I'd be careful of that. In other words, if you use this and you teach this, then whatever broker they're on, if it's 8cap, Robo4X, Vantage, you name it, it's going to get it right. Okay. Every time. That I really like. I like certainty to the degree that we can have it, because a lot of this process isn't certain, but this is. Okay. Robert, do you have anything else?
Nothing else. I'm just watching the DAX in the background here. I'm just trying to watch markers. I'm watching the USD, JPY, I'm watching the euro. It's like watching paint dry, gentlemen. It's slow. I will hopefully, if the DAX does do what it's going to do, what I think it's going to do, I'll call a sell later, but that later could be tomorrow because the markets, it's like now there's no volume. It's gone quiet. London's coming to an end in an hour, and it's like you don't even think the two's together at the minute because the volume's low. And there's big
Very
news. There's big news tomorrow, folks. But it's like, I don't like trading through the news. Last Friday, I did trade the news. I did a gold signal. It came out. Thankfully, it came my way. There was heavy news on Friday. I did all my lines. I had my trend lines, my support lines. Trend lines going both ways. I had a stop loss in gold. I gave myself, I think it was 2027 was my entry, and I had the stop loss at 2030. And when the news hit, it never went up. It just completely dropped. And it was a great trade. I got out at 2017, but as Robert already knows, gold went down into 1997. So I came out, you can imagine the profits, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it, it was a great entry, a great execution. I come out with lovely profits and I was happy. I didn't look at it as a negative because that can hold you down. Today's folks, we lost. It's already forgotten about in my head. It's gone. I'm looking at the next entry.
Yep.
It's in the past.
Yep. There's a funny scene in Jungle Book where I think it's the lion or the big, I can't remember. I've got to watch that scene again and I'm looking for it, where the what's the main character in that? The Mowgli.
Yeah.
And the big guy taps him on the head and says, "Forget about it. It's in the past." That's it. Just to remind him. And it's that kind of scenario. And again, mindset. See, if it's like, oh, I'm out, I'm fresh, I'm new. One of the things that you'll hear people talk about, and it's really one of the reasons, one of several, why I want to move to Eastern Europe, not the least of which is our grandson, but to be able to exercise before I trade, wow, would that be a luxury? In other words, here it's very early in the morning and I can't bring myself to get out and trot around and walk at 4 a.m. I just can't do it. I'm going to go after we're done here. But imagine if you had the opportunity and the luxury to be able to get some exercise, get your blood moving, do whatever you need to do, meditate to get in the exact right mind space when you're going to trade. It matters. This is part of mindset. Are you really ready for business? And that's something else that, we'll get into, because trading psychology, you'll hear that if you're able to attend that thing with Hugard today. I know you will hear a lot about trading psychology because it's huge. It's a big deal. And mindset really matters. He talks about how he was indoctrinated and all the technical and all the indicators and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, where did he really get the most deliverable was from mindset. He has a whole routine that he goes through when he trades, is, to get his frame, his mind frame right. So something to be said for that. Go ahead,
Robert.
Robert.
Great information there you're giving again. Folks have says that calculator, that you're sitting doing your lot sizes. For me, like I trade the DAX, I trade one or two others. I know the exact lot size that I need to use now. I know the exact account. Why do I know this? Even if I traded a new pair, folks, it's a demo account until I figure out that precise lot size before I go to a live account. Yep. If you're not sure, you're just on these calls, you're not sure of the DAX, the GER 40, go on to the demo. Let's say you had, maybe the demo was 3,000. Let's say you were trading at 0.30. Well, and on that same broker, let's say you had a $300 account. Your lot size is going to be 0.03, okay? Because it's 10 times less than the 3,000. We're here, as it says, if you have any question on lot sizes, like I love my maths, I'm great at calculations. I can just give you out the numbers straight away. I love, as it says, I'm in Robo Forex. I trade the DAX, I traded USJPY, the euro versus the dollar. And on the DAX, folks, on my $1,000 account, I will trade no more than 0.10, okay? Because that's the correct lot size. That's the correct risk management. If I want to increase it, that's okay, but I get the stop loss even tighter, okay?
Yep. One thing to keep in mind and be mindful with demos also, because this can be confusing. Right now, I've got several accounts over here. I'm sharing still. Okay. I've got Ox, I've got Robo4X, I've got TFF, and I've also got MetaQuotes demo. Now, MetaQuotes is kind of a generic demo, which works on things like the Euro, USD, JPY, but what does it not work on is indices. You have to have a demo from the broker you're on. Okay. Let me repeat that. You have to have a demo from the broker that you're with. In other words, if you're on Robo4X and you get a Robo4X demo account, you then should have access, and the account type matters because they vary. In other words, you can have 2 or 3 different account types. Make sure you've got a demo of that account type that you're going to use. If you're on 8cap, same thing. If you're on Envy, I mean, whatever the broker, get the demo from them. Okay. And then you should have access to all of the instruments that are available with that broker on that demo account so you can practice. Notice right now, I'm trying to go to DE40 cash. In other words, the DAX. Can't get it. Why? Because I'm on MetaQuotes demo. If I went to a live account, I'd have it instantly. Or if I went to a demo account with the broker that I was using, let's say I'm using Robo4X. If I went to a Robo4X demo account, then I would get it. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And to Robert's point, trade demo, cut your teeth on a demo account. A lot of people that are good coaches say when you can double a demo account, you're ready to trade live money. Let that sink in. Double. So if you've got $1,000 account, a $1,000 demo, can you turn it into 2,000? Here's the hard question to always answer for somebody. When should I start trading live? I don't know. What do you bring to the party? Have you ever traded before? What is your technical skill like? Do you have 20 years using computers? Or do you have 2 months? These are variables that matter, right? How proficient are you with technology? How proficient are you with the trading process? Here's a way of leveling the playing field. If you know an outcome is one that if you can do it, you're probably ready. And maybe it's not double it. Maybe it's get 50% profit. I don't know. You choose. But it's a suggestion that allows us to kind of level the playing field and say, I don't know how long this is going to take. If you can get it done very quickly, good on you. You're probably ready. Maybe an interim step, by the way, before putting real dollars, real pounds, real euros at risk is to get a micro account. That's what they're called. And I come back to Robo4X because it's familiar to me. Robo4X has an account called a Pro Cent account, and different brokers have the same kind of thing. It's not a recommendation specifically there. It's the concept. If you take $100 and you put it in a Pro Cent account, that is 10,000 pennies. You can trade it like a $10,000 account. You can get used to position sizes that are appropriate for a $10,000 account. This is good practice. In other words, it allows you then to make adjustments and do things and see how it's going to work when, let's say that you were thinking about putting 10 grand in, do it with pennies first, not dollars. In other words, demo, micro account, then and only then live account with real money. Now you've really done an adequate job of getting yourself up to speed on the process and not putting your hard-earned cash in the crosshairs of the market until you really have confidence. I hope that makes sense. So, Robert, I don't have anything else today. We could bring this in for a landing if you wish, unless you have something else you wanted to share.
No, nothing there, guys. As I says, I'm watching the charts, and if I see an entry, I will, but the entries will be less, folks. I'd rather, be on the calls, and if I see an entry, I'll call it. But the new year, folks, I'd rather save our capital, and we will go hell for leather in the new year. We'll be here every day this week, next week, but it's like today, the entry was there, but the volume wasn't okay. If the volume was there, that would have went our way, but the volume wasn't, and it's still lagging in the same area. It hasn't gone down much, and it's just sitting there. It's the volume, but we'll look daily and we'll do more education. We'll show you the strategies. Most importantly, folks, I hope, I know Jay's on the call here, doing incredible in the background. Spend a wee bit of time with somebody else, folks. If you just need a wee bit of time, you're on my team. I have no problem jumping on a wee call, and showing you what I'm at. We want to add value to our calls.
The thing to keep in mind these days also is that the normal market liquidity that's in the markets when you have everybody playing isn't here. And it's really important to keep that in mind. A lot of traders take December off the entire month. That's it. I'm on vacation. It's not a good month to trade. And that's a known. So keep that in mind. In other words, it's one of the more challenging months to trade in as we get into beyond the new year and everybody is back in action in January. Things will change a lot, particularly in the spring. So, might we be much more selective these days? Yes. Is there still value and in showing up and making sure that you're tuned in? And, we're very committed to this process, as you can see, and we don't plan on changing that. So how do you like my background? I kind of like this one.
It's very cool. I like it. You're going to have to send them pictures over, Robert.
I got that's really, it catches, I'm a boxing fan, so it kind of caught my attention when I saw the Bulls and the Bears duking it out with professional wrestling instruments.
Very good.
Off your head is extraordinary this morning.
Yep, for early morning.
Tackling the Bulls. I got another one for you here. Let me just show you. I'll give you the quick. Let's see here. There's this one.
Yeah, that's nice. That's cool. Yeah.
There's kind of like this one.
Yeah.
The electric look. This one I really like. It's one of my favorites, but you can't really see it adequately. I don't know where I got this, but it's a nice picture of Bulls and Bears. Yeah. And then when I do something good, I play this one for just to have some fun.
Oh, God.
Okay. A good note to end on. Thank you everybody for attending today.
Yep.
I really appreciate you guys and we will, one of the things we're looking at doing, by the way, and this is something actually that would be fairly easy to do. There's a tool I ran across yesterday and I was so excited about it. I was on a walk and I talked to Robert. We talk frequently, and it was something I discovered that allows us to automatically have a signal come to a group. And I'm hoping it also will work in a channel, not just a group, kind of to piggyback on that earlier conversation. Will we still do the trading chart screenshot? Yes. But what this allows us to do is automatically, when entering a trade from MT4 or MT5, post the things that are predefined, the entry, the take profit, the stop loss automatically. And there's some things you can select. The nice thing is as something changes there, meaning you move the stop, you move the take profit, it automatically updates the channel. And it's, I don't know, it's like 50 or 60 bucks, money well spent. And so if everything goes to plan and it looks like it's a winner, we'll look for that in our signals group soon. Mm-hmm. So one of the two of us, makes a trade, or we'll have it attached, and then that automatically posts. Yeah. So,
folks, we have more calls tonight on TradingView, 7 p.m. UK time. That'll be just a little over 3 hours. 1 hour later, folks, is a new call. It's going to be on candlesticks. Okay. 2 good calls. As it says, folks, if you're educating yourself, you're new. These calls to me are vital. Even though for myself, I'm doing these calls, I'm still learning. And the candlestick one at 8 o'clock, this is one that could add more value. What can we tick off it every week?
Who's teaching that one?
That is Dave. At 8 p.m. UK time, that will be 12 p.m. your time, Robert.
Okay,
3 p.m.,
so
3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern, noon. That's the candlestick one.
8 p.m.
Trading View, 11 a.m. Pacific. 2 p.m. Eastern in the US. Guys, another thing to be mindful of with that very thought in mind is, where do you find this information out? And where you need to go is right here. Okay.
You can share your screen, Robert, just for everybody.
Yeah,
to see.
that would be good, wouldn't it?
I
You know
gotta
it's early
jump off,
morning. You
guys.
know it's early morning.
It is. The caffeine is definitely, there's a caffeine deficit here. So here is FLN manifest announcements. Okay. And on announcements, you can see here is, so this is a group you definitely want to get in. And if you don't know how to do that, look in our customer group and we'll share that with you. Here is something on crypto, and I keep going down. You can see it's been a minute since I've been in here. Here is Candlestick. Here's the class that Robert mentioned. So you can be privy to everything that's going on directly from the source. They even let these two guys in here. I don't know how that happened.
Yep, they slipped in, Robert.
Yes, they did. So there you go. Having the opportunity to, to gain value from education, there's some people that I tune in on that are really, really high content. And there are others certainly, but these are some of the ones that I tune in on. The guy that is doing the gold group, called gold, but it also has other things in there, as you've discovered. It has USD, or excuse me, US 30. It has S&P 500, and his baby is gold. That's Mohammed. Mohammed has classes regularly, and they're good. You get a sense of how he does things. Another one is Reynaldo. Reynaldo, by every measure, he doesn't trade much, but man, when he does, he gets a high percentage of win rate. The other is Amber. Amber is not part of the corporate group, but she is a brilliant trader. And for those of us that are in North America, she has times on Sunday, which is a really a convenient time of the day to kind of plan what's coming in the market and get a sense. You can tune in on it. Robert, do you know, does she do recordings of that particular?
Yes. Yep, correct. Yep.
Where are those recordings located?
Those recordings are in the link tree, and if you go into traders, into the traders area, you'll go in and you'll see one at the bottom, folks. The most important, the wee video that we did, myself and Robert, last Monday night, if you go into it, it'll show you exactly where these recordings are available. We have the manifest back office, but most importantly, most of these other recordings are in the link tree.
And the link tree is from FLN, which is Freedom Lifestyle Network. It's the name of our upline, Stu and Laura, and terrific, terrific people. They've done a really great job organizing. Once you get familiarity with it, you'll understand how to navigate. But I literally have so much manifest stuff. I created a separate folder for manifest so I could, hopefully stay on top of most of it. If you don't know how to do that, by the way, I can help you do that on Telegram. It makes your life on Telegram a lot more pleasant. At least it does mine. So these are things to be aware of, though. The calendar, that there's value here that's really big in the education, in addition to getting the trading signal, understanding the people behind the trading signals, understanding, like in Amber's case, it's a perfect opportunity to see what she's thinking about in the coming week in the market. And you may not be able to attend it live. I think what time is that typically now on Sunday, Robert?
So Sunday, that would be 8:45 UK time.
Okay, so that is 12:45 Pacific. That is 3:45 Eastern, and ding, 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 there's a recording. If none of those work, at least you have the opportunity to review that information before the market opens, because she does some really great analysis, high-level analysis that allows you to understand what's possibly going to happen. She's brilliant she's a very competent trader. So I encourage everybody to tune in on that. So
Is that AM or PM?
that is 12:45 Pacific time, 2:45 Central time, and 3:45 Eastern. And where do we get the link for that, Robert?
I'll post it in our groups on Sunday all the time. I'll always, as many folks as calls I can get, I'll put it into the actual paid members group. Okay, I'll put them all in there. The other group we have for prospects, we have to watch what we post in there. Okay, we can only really put in opportunity calls. We can't allow people into
Right.
the calls that aren't members.
The other thing to keep in mind is this calendar that's here, again, in the announcements group, and I'm pretty sure that they have the high level stuff in here. In other words, there was a discussion. Amber's trader call is at 9 a.m. Saturday, UK. So that would be, that's on Saturday. And then Sunday, she's got the call I was talking about. This one is Dark 100. If you're on North America, that's, whatever time it is for you. It's in the middle of the night for us. But you'll be privy to what's going on if you're in this announcements group about calls, and don't miss out. I mean, I'm remiss in not attending this guy's calls. For instance, Lee Markham, I'm hearing great things about. I haven't been on one of his calls. Robert, you might just quickly touch on this because you've been in them. I have not, but you're not the only person I've heard talk about this guy being very, very competent, very proficient.
It's the way I can describe it. If you had a 5-year-old and he went, and the little guy or little girl went on to the calls, she would understand what crypto was about. Okay, if you're not big into crypto, you're not too sure, Lee will go through it. He'll explain it. He goes into fine detail, but he breaks it down very, very well, and he'll always give out maybe a little bit of a golden nugget here or there, maybe a coin, maybe look out for in 2024 in the bull run. There is something else happening in the background with Lee. You're going to have to drop us a private message to know more about that. There was a call a week ago. There's something happening in the background, folks. But if you want that recording, let us know. Okay. I missed that call because I was away, but I hear a lot of talk about that call, whatever went on it. So I need to get
the link. Maybe post that in the customer group.
Yes, I'll get that recording. I'll put it into the customer group in the next hour. I'm getting on a call with somebody now in 5 minutes, and that person will be able to give me the call.
Perfect. Yeah. This at any rate is where to tune in. I know this is a lot of stuff. I am pretty good at getting around on the computer, and I struggle. I admit it now and then to find stuff, but slowly but surely I'm getting this under my fingers. But this particular group is one you definitely want to have on your Telegram, because you'll see there's lots of stuff in here that reminds you, like the calendar that comes out and different updates about the calls, like the one that Robert mentioned right here. This was, shame on me. I didn't come in here and look at it, because this is of big interest to me. And I'm curious to see what this is about. So I think if there's nothing else, we're done.
Yep. Again, gentlemen, thank you very much. Robert, thank you as always. And guys, let's look forward to tomorrow. And I will be watching the charts in the background, but folks, I won't be doing a trade call unless today's call, it was like I was feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. Tomorrow, if it's the same, I won't call a trade. I got to have the confirmations all with me. Tomorrow there's more news. We'll see how it goes, folks. Okay. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
Yeah, you did a great job. Good call on that. Kept it nice and small and tight. No worries. Onward and upward.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.